Joining me now are two FCPS employees who will tell us more about the Resiliency Project. Erica Bettwy, a social worker from South Lakes High School, and Ryan Dickerson, a psychologist from Mount Vernon High School. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we were talking just a little bit beforehand about what a cool project this is. So let's tell our viewers, just give an overview. There's three components to the Resiliency Project. Erica, you want to share?
Sure. The Resiliency Project right now, the idea of resiliency actually is to incorporate kind of a lens of strengths within our three existing already programs in Fairfax County. We have the bully prevention program, we have the crisis response program, and we have the suicide and depression prevention and screenings right now across all FCPS schools.
And Ryan, tell us a little bit about what resiliency means.
Well, resiliency in the simplest terms means the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's definitely something that all our students have the capability of doing, and it's a focus now that we're applying to all the projects we do to make sure that we're focusing on student strengths and what we can do to help them overcome difficulties when they arise.
Right, and do you think our kids are less resilient today than in prior years, or do you see them facing more challenges?
I think specifically today, with the advances in technology and social media, our children today are exposed to a lot more through the advances in technology than we necessarily had in the past. Social pressures have arisen and increased, and I think in general, you know, everyone has always had struggles, but I would say that a lot of our students today probably have more than we may have faced in the past.
Yeah. Do you agree?
Well, I certainly agree, and I think the struggles our students face are the ones that we see every day in society, and they don't always have to be the most challenging of struggles, such as, you know, when you're talking poverty or significant family issues, but it can also just be even the everyday struggles. You know, we're a high-achieving area, and many of our students struggle with that pressure to succeed and be successfully. And so even just the smaller issues like that, or peer difficulties in school, those kind of things are things that all our students face.
Right. Now, you were explaining you have a parent education program, so parents can learn how to help their kids be resilient at home. Explain to me what that component includes.
Well, this summer there was a website designed specifically for parents, so that, you know, in the school we have those three programs that were referenced earlier to help build resiliency, but we also want it to kind of span outside of school as well. We talked a little bit about strengths and protective factors for children, and we want the parents to be able to be aware, be informed, and know where to get those resources and how to build resiliency in our students and in their children. So the website exists. It lists all different resources where they can contact FCPS and the programs that we have. It has contact information for the counselors, psychologists, social workers, but it also lists national and local organizations, such as, for example, mentor organizations, or ways to get them involved in communities, in sports, extracurricular activities. So that's one way that we have outreach to parents to make them aware of this project.
Right. And Erica mentioned protective factors. Ryan, what are those?
Well, what we know through looking at cases is that each student has faced adversity, and so as students, you know, face adversity, there are many students that rise above that. And what is it that helps students rise above and meet that challenge? It's what we call protective factors, and protective factors can be looked at both internally, so we call those developmental assets, a set of characteristics that students possess, or things like humor, creativity, persistence, flexibility, and looking at building on those as strengths. You know, asking what's right with my child, and what are the things that my child possesses, and building on those strengths so they can be successful. But it also encompasses things that we can do in the environment to support our children and our youth. Basically building a safety net around our student. What we know is that students are more resilient who have one caring and supportive adult relationship, students who have clear and set boundaries, students that have high expectations, students that are participating in extracurricular activities, students who are also volunteering and doing other kinds of acts of charity, students that are doing those kinds of things are more resilient and more likely to meet success.
That's excellent. Well, thank you both for sharing this information. This really resonates with me as a mom of a 17-year-old, and I'm going to make sure I have some of those factors in place. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Thank you.